Nothing we say is investment advice. Please pause on all 3 pages of this disclaimer and read it.
Good morning, everybody. Cowboy here, and looks like I got some background noise. Let me kill that. All right, we're live. Starting to be a little bit late. We had MICKO. In fact, we still have MICKO with us, but he's having some audio issues, so can't get his microphone or stuff to work. So if he can hop in, he will. Otherwise, we'll just have a standard show here. We're going to take a look at the markets. I'll start with Bitcoin today. You can see here that yesterday, privately, I had called Bitcoin to head up, grab liquidity, and that it did. But as I logged in this morning a few hours ago, go to a lower time frame chart, I noticed that Bitcoin was starting to find support, and it would make sense to find support here. There's still a lot of liquidity, or I should say liquidations down at the 116 to 117 level, right? So price may make its way down there, but that liquidity map changes by the minute. It might not change a lot by the minute, but technically liquidations are always moving around. So we're just going to take another quick look at that on another screen here. I'm going to let that do its query. We'll go back to the main screen. So at least right now, it appears that this is going to head back up for now and test just what I thought it would do. Like I said, you can see it about 3 o'clock in the morning, my time, when I woke up. So yeah, this might head up, and sure enough, that's exactly what it did. Now, is there liquidity up there? I have a query running on a screen that you cannot see, and that query is still running. So it's hard to say, but I can tell you just by looking at the price action, there is a fair amount of liquidity in that yellow box right there. So we might see price go up and grab the rest of it. As a matter of fact, looking at the algos, which is the algos are the main reason why I thought this might turn around and head up this morning. And sure enough, that is exactly what we see happening. And everything's bullish in the higher time frame. So it could be that, as one of our guys said in the private chat this morning, that this could just resume up and keep going. And we talked about that. We also could see a corridor form, a corridor or a range. It could be something like this or something even like this. We're going to have to see, right? Now, what I would do to trade this is I'd wait for the high to break. Shorting Bitcoin in the bull market is kind of not a good idea, at least not for swing trading. Plenty of opportunities in, like scalping. So a lot of scalping opportunities where we could definitely see a couple of wins on the way down, where you see this move down for the last like 15, 16 hours. But on like a, swing trading, it's just really risky to short in a bull market. There's a decent chance that this continues up and up and up and up, but I would not go long until this all-time high is broken, because you have nothing but resistance after resistance until the all-time high is broken, and you're just trading into low ceilings, right? So not a good idea to jump into low ceilings, not a good idea to dive into shallow pools, but definitely a good idea to consider staying long in a bull market, especially at this stage in the bull market. And looking at all the different assets that we track, money is just flowing into the US. Like, that's it. For example, silver broke $50, right? It just broke $50 like right now. It might have been kind of pressing on it for a few hours here, but no, as of like right now, silver literally just broke 50 for the first time in I don't know how many years. You could go back to right after the GFC, so more than 12 years, 13 years. We could take a look and see when that was. But we're sitting right near all-time highs. In fact, I think we're just eclipsing all-time highs, right? So all-time highs of silver back in 2011. Price is officially above that on the OANDA's futures chart. Now, I don't know where spot's trading, but at least on this chart, silver all-time highs have been broken. We got V the Gorilla. Let's bring him on. Good morning. How you doing, bud?
Greetings.
We had MICKO. You can see MICKO there in the background. And,
yes. Hey, MICKO, how are you, buddy?
Oh, he can't. He's having an audio issue. That's why we started a little bit late this morning. We were trying to get his audio sorted out, and it just didn't happen today. So MICKO was going to live trade, and that was going to happen today. But unfortunately, we couldn't get it sorted, and that's fine. MICKO has been around with us forever. I know he feels bad about it, but don't feel bad about it, Mick. Just, these things happen. You say you're good to go when I am. Say something, Mick. Can we hear you? I don't hear you, Mick. Still don't hear you, MICKO. He said he had his phone Bluetooth. Yeah, so MICKO, still don't get any audio from you. So what I might do is have you log out, log back in. Try to do that. Try to get out of StreamYard, come back, see if we can get it working. MICKO's just going to try to get it figured out while we talk in the background about other assets. MICKO, just pop in, my man. Don't just interrupt us. If you log out and log back in, I'll put you back on the stage. So just interrupt us if you get it working. We're going to continue with the show. Gold also, sitting at all-time highs over and over. It's just gold's been nonstop all-time highs going back to, all year long. Let me zoom in a little bit at this so we could get a higher resolution view. Okay, so we haven't had an all-time high since like last Wednesday, which is fine. That's like a few days. That's like 2 days. We haven't had an all-time high in a whole day, V, with gold. What the hell, man? What's wrong?
I don't know, man. I think
didn't make an all-time high yet today. It's like world's ending.
Over. It's over, bro.
Well, I called this pretty well, though. It actually, gold did go a little bit higher, but then it came down exactly to where I said it would come down when it popped up. I made this prediction yesterday during this show. So you're welcome for anybody watching. It's probably just going to keep going. I mean, look, it can't go up forever, but in a situation where things are devolving in the world, it'll go up forever. Like what'll happen is that it's not that gold is going up; it's that the dollar is just heading down. Basically, all the fiat currencies are heading down, and gold's just kind of staying where it is. I mean, in a very relative sense, right now you can buy the same amount of petroleum gasoline that with like 1 ounce of silver that you could have gotten 100 years ago. Like 2 ounces of silver, 1 ounce of silver, pretty much fill your tank. So, depending on a few things between 1 and 2. But we got MICKO back. Mick, go ahead and say something, bud. Nothing, my man. Yeah, it looks like your audio is fried. Like I said, see if you can just use your regular computer mic. Just switch to that. And if you and I might spend some time later trying to figure this out. So let's go ahead and move on to, let's look at Solana. The Solana match, Solana's probably going to do what like Bitcoin's doing so far. So we're not in a part of the crypto market story where the altcoins are like breaking out just yet. Bitcoin's dominance. Let's take a look at Bitcoin dominance. So Bitcoin dominance. Okay, Mick, just so you know, Mick, you're muted. So if you unmute, that might help. Say something, Mick. Nada. Can't hear you. So let's look at dominance here. Dominance is a measure of, just for people who might be kind of new to the game, Bitcoin dominance is how much money in crypto is in Bitcoin. So if like, I don't know, there's the whole crypto market, right? And if half the money in crypto is in Bitcoin, then that's the dominance level. Now I don't know if this number to the right is the percentage of money in Bitcoin. I think it might actually be, but the higher this goes, then the less alts will perform against Bitcoin because all the money is like flowing to Bitcoin. We had a big drop in dominance going back to June. And then now that drop in dominance has it stopped dropping in September. And the way that I did this dominance formula, it's a special formula for dominance. It's dominance, but I've made it congruent to itself over time. So right now it does appear that dominance may actually start to flip up. And what that means is that as dominance rises, altcoins will not perform that well against Bitcoin. And that's fine. They'll still perform because Bitcoin will drag them up. You're just not going to see this big alt party where Solana goes up 50%, but Bitcoin like kind of stays where it is, right? Bitcoin will go up. Say again?
Absolutely correct.
Yeah, it's like, so Bitcoin will go up, 5%, and Solana will drag up 3 to 5%. It's kind of how that probably will go. And then at some point when Bitcoin has reached complacency, and I'll chart what that looks like for you so you kind of understand what I mean by that. We'll talk a little bit about the market cycle right now, and then we'll get back into the Bitcoin chart. But so and I'll have to flip the screen here. Just give me a second. Market cycle cheat sheet. And I'm going to switch screens so you can see what I'm talking about. And let me get the images. So there, there are several. Let's see, open image, a new tab. Okay, let me share that tab. Okay, so there are several parts of the market cycle, right? And the end of the market cycle, you can see where it says disbelief on the far right, where my mouse is. On the far left, you also see disbelief, right? So it's kind of it's a cycle. This end and then it re-begins. Well, complacency is after the all-time high. So it starts out. Okay, there's Mick. Let's see if we got Mick. Mick, you're on twice. Wow, how you doing, bud? Cannot hear you. No volume, my friend. Still no luck.
Try using is he coming on StreamYard? Did you hit
Yeah,
that
he's on
gear button
StreamYard
for audio, and I'm sure he did that. Maybe
Yeah, no,
Bluetooth.
we done all that, dude. We've been through it.
Wow.
Yeah, we spent several minutes boring the audience with audio details. We're just either MICKO's going to figure it out or we'll shoot another day.
Yeah.
Okay, you can hear us, but we can't. So what you need to do, sorry, audience, give us just a moment. MICKO took time out of his day to come join us. We're going to try and make this work real quick. MICKO, on StreamYard at the bottom, there is a cog, a little wheel. Click on that. Go to audio. And on audio, you're going to see microphone. Drop that down. Find whatever mic works. And just try them all until we can hear you. All right. Back to the chart. So on the left is disbelief, which is where like people think, oh, this is a sucker's rally. It's not going to go up. But then it continues up. And you get optimism. And then it continues up and you get belief. And it continues up and you get thrill. Right? Now you're starting to get greedy and emotional. And then you get euphoria. Right? And I love the comments here. Like optimism is, oh, the rally's real. Belief, oh, time to get fully invested. Thrill, I will buy more on margin. Got to tell everyone to buy. Euphoria, I am a genius. We're all going to be rich. And of course, as soon as we get to that level, you start to see what's called complacency, where it starts to sell off and the smart money starts to distribute money to the dumb money, distribute the bags to the dumb money and take the money out of the market. And then you get complacency. Complacency is we just need to cool off for the next rally. Okay. And then anxiety, denial, panic, and you end up back in, depression, anger, disbelief, all that other stuff. So the complacency is where we want to focus. So go back to the Bitcoin chart and show you prior market cycles where there's complacency, what that can look like, and how we might want to be careful not to get fooled by it. So let's go here to the weekly, and I'm going to go back in time to this prior top. So this was an interesting top. It was a double top. It topped out, and it was because we were in the pandemic. Everybody was sitting at home trading. We had stimmy checks, people getting paid whether they worked or not. So you have this top right here, right? That's the actual top. We had a little bit of a double top. These things happen. And then you have complacency right here. Complacency is, oh, the market just needs to cool off before the next rally. So let's zoom in on complacency, right? So there's your complacency right here. Market top. Let's do this here. Market top right here. Market top. Complacency here. Let's superimpose over the top of this the Bitcoin dominance. And then we will add it as, we'll just do a new price scale. So here you'll notice the Bitcoin dominance from the top, right? And all, like even just before the top. So I'll map this out, stand by. From here until here. So we'll extend this down. Give me a second. And I'll make this a little easier for you all to see right here. So in that green area, you'll notice that Bitcoin dominance came down. That whole time, Bitcoin dominance came down and stayed pretty low throughout the complacency area. So you have the euphoria, and this is a weekly chart. So from what was a perceived top for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I can just look here for about 100 days. You had maybe a little bit longer. somewhere between 100 and 105 days, however many weeks that is, the alts did really well because Bitcoin dominance was falling. The blue line is Bitcoin dominance. Let me make this a little cleaner for you all. Give me a second. Okay. So during that time, alts did great. It's 100 days. It's like 3 months. Prior cycle is going to have similar look. The complacency period in the prior cycle was a bit shorter, I think, but we can still map it. And give me a second to do that. Complacency there was like 35 days, but still Bitcoin dominance was relatively low, even for another, like, let's just say 2 months. So between a month and two, just before the top and right at the top, I'd say like 45 days is like a decent bet. You're going to have a month to 2 months of the altcoins doing really well. As Bitcoin distributes and moves into the altcoins, you're going to see alts pop off. And that could be for a month, month and a half, 2 months. Now, when that goes down, you're going to know the market cycle is probably done. The Bitcoin, whatever you call it, the 4-year cycle. Now, here we are now. And we kind of had this big rally. And as the rally started to top out here, money did go into the alts. And we had a few alts do pretty well in this period. We had like, even now we have like Aster and, Hyperliquid was doing great. Like we had a few alts that were really doing well in this period. If I go to any alt chart, looking back to like midsummer, let's go to, BNB is just doing well no matter what. But as this goes down, these alts that are doing well are going up. Hyperliquid, it's hard to see the blue. Let's do it this way. You'll see the Bitcoin dominance going down. You'll see altcoins going up. Not all altcoins, but a lot of altcoins during that time. Bitcoin dominance down, Chainlink going up. And that's like for 2 months almost. I don't want to look at... Ethereum's going to lead usually. So even a slowdown in dominance will see Ethereum do well. But especially when the dominance starts to fall, Ethereum really starts to do well. Dominance is starting to climb it again, and we really only look at for whether or not we're getting clues for a cycle end. We look at Bitcoin for that. Okay, so that being what it is, we have Bitcoin still rising, and dominance is now going back up, and Bitcoin made a new high. So, I mean, just based on that alone, there's a decent chance that we're not quite there yet. We have a little bit of time left. We'll see. There are all kinds of people, the top is in, and, this year that happened and that year this happened, but we can't really rely on historical data for Bitcoin for a couple of reasons. One, because we only have 3 halvings, 3 data points, not a strong thesis is built on that. You want hundreds of data points to build a strong thesis. At least 100, 200 is better. 3 data points is not. Number 2, the crypto market is evolving very quickly. And it looks like you all were not able to see any of the screen that I talked about because no one told me because I forgot. So let's go back to here. So anyway, you didn't get to see the dominance, but you got to hear me explain it. Apologies for not showing you the screen. It is what it is. And we're way over time on this part of the live lab. But suffice it to say, based on everything I'm seeing, is I'm not used to doing a screen share like this. Usually if I flip screens, it follows me on its own. So apologies for that. I'm just going to redo it really quick because everybody should see that. Let's do this. BTC USD. We got the all-time history index. I'm going to go to a high time frame chart. I'm going to throw on Bitcoin dominance and we'll just take a look at it. D divided by 100 minus BTC.D. I know somebody in the comments probably told me, but I'm trying to monitor what MICKO is doing at the same time. So that's probably why I didn't hear any of you guys telling me can't see chart. Yep. Mike told me no chart cube. All right. Screen wasn't stuck. I just never flipped it over. So I'll just show you all again. Why not? Screw it. Let's do it. All right. So BTC.D divided by 100 minus BTC.D. Okay, so, and I want that to, well, this will do. So look, here's the deal. Prior market highs. Okay, that's not going to work. BTC dot D divided by minus BTC dot D. Why am I not? Okay, good. So looking at like the 2017 high. What the hell? This is 17. Okay. Why is this? It's acting up on me now that you all can see the chart, it's acting up. We're going to try this one more time. If not, screw it. Let's do new price scale. Yeah. I don't know, man. Don't know, man. It worked great before. Divided by. And we're going to do it on a new price scale. There we are. So you can see the top for 2017. Okay. On Bitcoin. And then you see it head down. Well, at that time, you see dominance head down. And at this time is when the altcoins did well. It's about 45 days. 2021, same thing happened. Where you had a perceived top right here. And then dominance started to go down right there. And then you had it again. This is where the alts did really well. This perceived top dominance started to go down. And then dominance actually held because it was a weird season for crypto because of COVID. So, but the same thing happened again too. You had another mini alt rally where the actual top happened for Bitcoin, and then altcoins went down, and that was for like several months, like I don't know, 100 days. Altcoins did pretty well during this time, and then you had the actual true complacency right here, where everybody was like holding on. It's just going to go up again. So the deal here is that if you get an extended alt party, Bitcoin comes off its top. It could happen now. It could happen towards the end of the year. It could happen early in January. You'll get altcoins doing pretty well. But until that time, dominance heading up, you're probably not going to see the altcoins do that well. So after this long double lesson, and again, apologies for the computer screens and all that shit, dominance is heading up, Bitcoin's heading up. So if Bitcoin does something like this, where it makes a new high and, then it kind of starts to head down and then it starts to head sideways, then dominance is going to give you a clue that that's it, because dominance will head up and then it'll head down, and it might be a month, might be two, and then it'll start to head up while Bitcoin heads sideways. And we'll mark this blue so y'all can, relate it to the chart. So if you see this kind of pattern where dominance heads down before Bitcoin heads down, Bitcoin starts to head sideways while dominance starts to head up, then you know that's the cycle's probably been over for anywhere from a month to two. So that's that. Everything else is just going up. NASDAQ, new highs. Let's take a brief look at the actual low time frame NASDAQ, and then we'll go to legit private live lab. Extended show today. Again, Mick just had some technical issues. It happens to the best of us. He'll come back another time. And all-time highs happened yesterday in the evening on the NASDAQ futures. And they're still pretty much they're probably going to open in about 25 minutes to all-time highs. So the stock NASDAQ, or the spot NASDAQ, will gap up on the open, and you'll be at all-time highs for that. So yeah, everything goes up right now. So what I'll do is via the gorilla after that freaking abortion of a show, I'll have you get us over to the private live lab if you don't mind, and then we'll finish up there with any of the questions the private members have.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. Follow us over where there are no technical difficulties that keep us delayed from learning the algos that trade on your behalf 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and you get to trade like a hedge fund pro. Join us, algofactory.tech. Take it away, Cowboy.